の一つ、易経にある言葉です。
Kaiju movies occupy a specific time and place to me as a 90s kid. I remember them being the premieres on the Sci-Fi Channel long before C-grade shark movies, them just randomly showing up at Blockbuster for rent, the double feature VHS box sets in the value section at Suncoast, especially during the release of the 90s American Godzilla. My mother would buy me the VHS dubbed Godzilla movies as a, hey, this will keep you busy for a few hours types of entertainment. I liked Power Rangers as a kid and loved the Megazord fights, so naturally, another people in rubber suits fighting thing would suffice. But it's often that as an adult, you return to these things with adult eyes to see if they hold up, or maybe to see if you can capture some part of your youth. But I didn't grow up with the Gamera movies. I remember them from the shelves of Blockbuster, yes, but probably relegated them to the low tier of corny monster movie. What a mistake that was. Years later, with an open mind and tastes molded by anime, genre movies, and sci-fi pop culture in general, I come to Shusuke Kaneko's 90s Gamera trilogy, which along with other kaiju classics such as 1984's Return of Godzilla, explore the kaiju genre with a more realistic and serious storytelling bent, especially 1999's Gamera 3, The Revenge of Iris. A movie built on morally gray themes such as perspective and how people view what is basically the force of Mother Nature itself. As the third installment in the 90s Gamera trilogy, we come into a world already well aware of Gamera. He's already awoken to fight the threat of the Gaios and the alien invader Legion. Now the world argues if Gamera is a force of good or evil, made murky in a world offset by constant Gaios attacks and Gamera's conflict with them. Ghost in the Shell 95 screenwriter Kazunori Ito crafts a kaiju story that is surprisingly ambiguous on pretty much all fronts and leaves the answer to you. While the characters in the story have their own motivations and viewpoint, the script has enough maturity to explore aspects of that question. It all centers around teenager Ayane Hirasuka, played by Battle Royale 2's Ai Maeda, a young girl who loses her parents during Gamera and Legion's battle, leading to a nihilistic attitude and a hate for Gamera. She finds a creature that could be an offshoot of the Gaios, or a demonic creature meant to be watched by an ancient Japanese bloodline, or simply another creature that exists in a world of monsters. Informed by possible myth and her own hate, Ayane comes to nurture and influence the creature who she names Iris, after her deceased cat. She gains the attention of a Japanese political spiritualist, Mito Asakara, who views Gamera as an evil spirit. Returning characters Mayumi Nagamine and former Gamera companion Asagi Kusanagi hope to intervene in her quest for revenge. Often a criticism in kaiju movies is that the human element is boring and just filler between the monster fight. While no doubt in Gamera 3 is the monster fighting the main draw, the direction is still strong, with the story and world building being no less interesting. There is a lot of attention to the themes which make the movie not very brainless as an onlooker would maybe believe. There is a strong degree of realism to Gamera. His first arrival is if anything frightening, displaying a possible indifference during his fight between the Gaios. While perhaps he is there to protect the Earth, destruction of human cities and loss of life are not his concern, but instead collateral damage. Or maybe not, as he puts an effort to save a lone boy. Or maybe he didn't, and he just appeared to be. But the young boy, with his child logic, which can always be a bit naive, but also more open-minded than an adult's, believes he did. Gamera 3 constantly raises questions like this, and that's what makes the story more interesting than your average kaiju flick. Limited only by budget, but not imagination, the movie attempts to show a realistic world with monsters in it. People on the street argue about how to handle Gamera, news anchors and political pundits disagree on Gamera, scientists and spiritual-leaning people have different perspectives on his nature, and the military makes difficult decisions regarding him. But the destruction caused by these monsters is never shied away from. While the special effects may not dazzle like a big-budget Hollywood movie, they still shock with the frightening depiction and well-realization of a monster attack. Its ambiguity is what makes it all interesting. Ayane is informed of a myth about a guardian phoenix, and she relates it to Iris, and while it may be true, it may not be. It just allows her some context and motivation. Mito and her accomplice, who view Gamera as an evil spirit, have their own explanations, but they are simply crazy, and so the movie doesn't 100% side with them. And while Mayumi and Asagi are the good guys, basically, and believe in the goodness of Gamera, it may not even matter. The monsters are the reality of the world, and the world has to decide how to deal with them. The human storytelling of Gamera 3 is strong. Ayane makes for a good dark protagonist, and her pain is relatable. And Iris is a fascinating enemy with a strangely beautiful design, invoking on purpose bird and phoenix imagery, but also with a dark nature signified by Cthulhu-esque tentacles that feed on life force. But while the storytelling may break some people's views of kaiju movies, the other elements may not. The acting can still be wooden, with Maeda playing it like a generic anime evil girl. And in the end, rubber suit monster movies aren't going to appeal to everyone. This is a 90s kaiju movie. You're going to see some very dated effects. You're going to see some very PlayStation 1 level CGI. But I'm not sure that matters as much when the direction itself is so strong. And all this is carried by a strong soundtrack by Ko Atani, known for his work on PlayStation 2 classic Shadow of the Colossus and a personal favorite of my childhood, Gundam Wing. The 90s Gamera trilogy is often praised by kaiju aficionados as being better than that era's Godzilla movies, mostly because of its darker and more serious storytelling, and I can't help but agree. Gamera 3 Revenge of Iris is a thoughtful and well-made kaiju movie that really should show you that the monster movie genre can be more than it appears.
Gamera 3.
Hi guys, this is Jojo Sonoshee. Thanks for watching the video, and as usual, like and subscribe if you liked the content. I'm just going to keep doing more and more of these Asian movies and video game stuff, so if you want to see more, I guess like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.